Dear students, in this practical class, we are going to discuss about column chromatography. Let us know about the definition of column chromatography. Column chromatography is a separation technique in which components of mixture is separated by using a glass column packed with stationary phase and the liquid mobile phase flowing continuously through the column. This is a solid liquid technique in which the stationary phase is solid and mobile phase is liquid. So this technique is based on the principle of differential adsorption, where different molecules in a mixture have different affinities with the adsorbent present on the stationary phase. Here adsorbent is nothing but solid stationary phase. The molecules having higher affinity remain adsorbed for a longer time, decreasing their speed of movement through the column, and the molecules with lower affinity with the stationary phase move with faster movement, thus allowing the molecules to be separated in different fractions. The usual adsorbents employed in column chromatography are alumina, calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, magnesium, starch, activated silica, sodium carbonate, etc. And selection of solvent is based on the nature of both solvent and the adsorbent. The component of a mixture to be separated is depending upon the activity of adsorbent and polarity of the solvent. If the activity of the adsorbent is very high and polarity of the solvent is very low, then the separation is very low but gives a good separation. And on the other hand, if the activity of adsorbent is low and polarity of the solvent is high, the separation is rapid but gives only a poor separation. The components separated are not 100% pure. Let us know about the requirement for column chromatography. First, column characteristics and selection, and second one stationary phases, third one mobile phases, fourth one preparation of column, fifth one introduction of sample, sixth one development of column, seventh one detection of components, and last one is recovery of components. First one, column characteristics and selection. Here the adsorbent or stationary phase or adsorbate or mixture, the ratio between the stationary phase and the mixture is about 30:1, and column length to diameter ratio is about 10 to 15:1 or 30 to 100:1, and multi-component system is present. Here long column is used, and components with similar affinities for adsorbent are present, and components with different affinities for adsorbent are also present. Next, second one, stationary phases used in column chromatography is the stationary phases used in column adsorption chromatography are also known as adsorbents, and some requirements of an ideal stationary phase is they should be insoluble in solvents or mobile phases, they should be chemically inert, they should be colorless to facilitate observation of zones, and should have reproducible properties from batch to batch, and the particles should have uniform size distribution and have spherical, and the particle size is about 60 to 200 micron. The most commonly used chromatographic adsorbent is silica or salicylic acid and silica gel. And the adsorbents that are used in column chromatography is sucrose, starch, insulin, sodium carbonate, calcium phosphate, magnesium carbonate, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, activated magnesium silicate, activated alumina, activated charcoal, activated magnesia, activated silica. Next, third one, mobile phase. It is also known as eluents or solvents. Mobile phase acts as a solvent to introduce a mixture into the column as a developer to develop the zones for separation and as an eluent to remove the pure component out to the column. Next, fourth one, preparation of the column. The column mostly consists of a glass tube packed with a suitable stationary face. Here we can use a glass wool, cotton wool or an asbestos pad. It is placed at the bottom of the column before packing the stationary face. After packing, a paper disc kept on the top so that the stationary layer is not disturbed during the introduction of sample or mobile faces. Next, fifth one, introduction of the sample. The sample, which is usually a mixture of components, is dissolved in minimum quantity of the mobile phase. The entire sample is introduced into the column at once and get adsorbed on the top portion of the column. So from this zone, individual sample can be separated by a process of elution. Next, sixth one, development of column. The removal of individual components from a column is called development of column. Here we can observe two methods, frontal analysis and elution analysis. In frontal analysis, this technique was developed by Tiselius in 1940. In this method, the solution of sample mixture is added continuously on the column. No mobile phase is used for development of column. And next one is elution analysis. It is a common method used in column chromatography. In this method, a small volume of mixture to be separated is added on the top of the column and mobile phase is allowed to flow through the column. The mixture introduced on the column gets separated into individual as the components of mixture are adsorbed to the column material to different extent. On the other hand, the other phase of mobile phase, each component of mixture is eluted out as separated components that are called eluate. And next, elution. By elution technique, the individual components are separated out from the column. It can be achieved by two techniques. First one, isocratic elution technique, and second one, gradient elution technique. In isocratic elution technique, here iso means same or similar. Here in this technique, some solvent composition or solvent of the same polarity is used throughout the process of separation. For example, using of chloroform alone. And next, second one, gradient elution technique. Here gradient means gradual. Here solvents of gradually increasing polarity or increasing elution strength are used during the process of separation. For example, initially benzene, then chloroform, then ethyl acetate, and then chloroform. Next, seventh one, detection and recovery of solvent, recovery of components. If the compounds separated in a column chromatography procedure are colored, the progress of the separation can simply be monitored visually. If the compounds to be isolated from column chromatography are colorless, so in this case, small fractions of the eluent are collected sequentially in labeled tubes, and the composition of each fraction is analyzed by thin layer chromatographic method. Those fractions which give same retention factor values in thin layer chromatography are added as a common fraction, and from the column fraction solvent is evaporated, dried, and the materials collected in a Eppendorf container. At last the spectral analysis the compound is identified. During the process of separation of components, the components with greater adsorption power will be adsorbed at the top and the other will be adsorbed at the bottom. The different components can be desorbed and collected separately by adding more solvent at the top, and this out of the component from the adsorbent is called elution and the solvent is called eluent. The weakly adsorbed compound will be eluted more rapidly than the strongly adsorbed compound. The different fractions are collected separately. Distillation or evaporation of the solvent from the different fractions give the pure components. In this picture, you can observe a glass column with the outlet at the bottom of the column and inlet at the top of the column, and at the bottom of the column we can observe a plug or tap, and before experimentation or before packing of the column we have to place a glass wool into the column, and after that we have to add stationary phase, and after that we have to add mixture of compounds or component of mixture into the column, and after that we have to add continuously add solvent for the separation of component of mixture. The separated compounds are collected in different beaker or test tubes. So dear students, this is about column chromatography. Thank you.